Welcome back to the 700 Club. Well, more than ever, we all want our food to be delicious and also healthy and nutritious. Well, clean eating is all about eating closer to the source and gaining the benefits of the freshest locally grown ingredients year-round. So many of our foods are manufactured in factories, and some of the chemicals used in this process may be making us sick. Imagine feeding your family foods that are full of vitamins and give them more energy. You may not know about them, but these foods are already available. Terry Walters is a food educator. Using her Clean Start, she'll guide you in choosing wholesome foods that are simple, nutritious, and delicious. So please welcome to the 700 Club the author of Clean Start, Terry Walters. Terry, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Christy. It's great to be here.
Okay, so let's talk about clean eating and clean foodies and all the clean stuff. What am I talking about? What does all this mean?
Clean is close to the source.
Okay.
It's eating foods that are minimally processed so that we can gain the maximum nutrition.
Okay.
And that's going to be different for every person. So for one person, it might mean taking artificial ingredients out of your processed food. For the next person, it might mean giving up processed food altogether. And for yet another person, it could mean just going straight to the farm. So it's different, and we all want that clean start. So it doesn't matter where you're starting. It's about bringing in nutritional value.
So what's the difference between clean and organic?
Organic is a choice, and eating clean is about making the best choices we can for ourselves and for our family. So for some people, it might mean bringing in organic food, but organic isn't the foundation of a clean food diet.
Okay.
It's just an option, and if we have more information, we can make that decision for ourselves.
Okay. Now, do you have to be a vegan or a vegetarian to be a clean foodie person?
No, it doesn't matter. Whatever else is on your plate, these are the super nutritional foods that we all need more of.
Okay, good to know. All right, so you became a clean person. This sounds so weird to me. The term a clean food person with your family, and what was it that motivated you?
You know, my father had a heart attack when I was in college, and I discovered I had high cholesterol, and I was in a non-risk category, so they told me. So it was a shock, and I knew then I did not want to go on medicine to regulate my cholesterol and be on that for the rest of my life.
Sure.
So I just decided I'm going to start to pay attention to how I live and what I eat, and you know, when someone told me you should eat more brown rice and kale, and I took a bite of it and said, there has got to be a way to make this taste delicious and to make it easy, because this is how we want to feed ourselves every day.
Exactly.
So that's what I've set out to do, to make it easy, delicious, and nutritious.
All right, well, let's see some examples.
Great.
Let's start with that.
Well, over here we have a fig spread. It's made with figs and shallots. It's a great spread as an appetizer for the holidays. It also is great on a piece of bread with some watercress, so great in a sandwich. Very sweet. You caramelize everything.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Well, let me stop you real quick. I saw that and I thought, figs have that more sugary taste, but then you have a shallot, which is an onion. Isn't that a strange combination?
You know, my goal is to get people to eat all of the tastes. In processed food, we have sweet and salty, but there's sour, there's bitter, and there's pungent. So when we eat all of the tastes, they balance each other, and they balance us as well. And if we can combine that with eating all the colors of the rainbow, we're going to get good, solid nutrition.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Creamy soups. I always stay away from creamy soups just because they hurt my stomach, and I shared with you why. You know, I love dairy, but dairy does not love me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
you're not alone.
Yeah, but you have a creamy soup that I could eat, and tell me why.
This is a cream of broccoli soup, and it's made with onions and broccoli as the base, and I use rice milk and oats, rolled oats, to thicken. So it's completely dairy-free, and the oats give it that smooth creaminess. We just boil it and puree it, and I always tell people, if you don't know where to begin, start with something green. Super nutritional, very healing. And this is a great way, especially for young children, to bring in that green nutrition, all those vitamins and minerals. Dairy-free.
I love that idea, but I think just because the fall time, you want more soups because it's comforting and it just soothes you. But I always felt like I had to, not, you know, settle, but I had to settle because I couldn't do the cream-based.
Well, you don't anymore.
Okay, now what about that?
This is wild rice, and I've sautéed some fennel. There's some pine nuts in here. There's some lemon peel, and we have dried cherries. So again, we've got all the different tastes, the sweet, the sour, the bit of saltiness, and fennel's a great digestive aid, and wild rice is super high in protein, so it's really great energy.
Yeah.
I love this dish on its own, but I also, especially coming into the holidays, I love to combine it, stuff it into a squash for an extra special presentation.
Oh, yum. Yeah. Okay. What do we have here? Speaking of, like, kind of a casserole-esque meal.
Speaking of sweet, and I do feel like the more nutritional sweet we bring into our diets, the less non-nutritional sweet.
Gotcha.
So we have some carrots and some parsnips and sweet potatoes, some dried cherries, some onion, and we've mixed it all together, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit of, actually I'm going to use this ginger.
Okay.
Some ginger root.
Fresh ginger. Love ginger.
I'm going to sprinkle that on there.
I want to smell that.
And then we're going to combine, and you'll see all the taste. We've got some orange juice, lime juice, a little bit of maple syrup, which is really one of the few sweeteners that I use.
Okay.
This is some fresh ground nutmeg, and a little bit of, this is arrowroot, which is going to make it thick so that it gets nice and creamy.
Okay.
And a little bit of sea salt.
Is arrowroot kind of like a cornstarch?
It is. Yes, so if you have cornstarch, you can use that.
All right.
And when you run out of your cornstarch, the arrowroot will just be another option if you want to bring that in.
I've never heard of arrowroot. Is that something that's easy to buy at a store? You have to go to a health food store to buy that?
You can get it at almost any natural food store.
Okay, okay.
And we're just going to pour this right over.
Gotcha. What an interesting combination. I never would have thought of onions and carrots and cherries.
You know, my grandmother used to make this recipe, and as I got older, it was almost too sweet.
Yeah.
But when I added the onions to it, it balanced it for me. So it'll be yummy. We're going to cover this with some foil.
All right.
And we're going to bake it.
Hold on. They had it in backwards. They did this just because it's live TV, just for me. All right. And you do this for how long? We're going to put this in the oven where you tell us how long we bake it for.
Great. We're going to put it in a 350 oven, and we're going to bake it for 45 minutes.
Gotcha.
And if we want it to get extra creamy and have that arrowroot take hold, we can take it out partway through and just baste it. Just redistribute the liquid so it covers the vegetables.
Okay, so is this more of a side dish?
You know, it's a side dish. You could serve that with some greens and some rice and have it be the whole meal. So,
okay. I want to taste this. Just because
I love that.
I'm just
that was 45
curious.
minutes. It was great.
It was the quickest 45 minutes I've ever seen, right?
This is also great because now you're getting your kids to eat parsnips and onions because of the sweetness of the fruit and the vegetables combined. It's a great recipe for children. And as you can see, we're getting all those colors in.
I like that. And I think about, when you think about Thanksgiving, you do kind of think about the yumminess of it. Okay, last thing, the dessert.
This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
This is a pear cake, and it's completely gluten-free.
Did you say pear or carrot?
Pear.
Okay.
Pear. And the sweetness, there's very little sugar, just about a quarter of a cup of maple syrup in there. No other refined sugars. The flours are almond and almond meal and some chickpea flour, so very savory flours and super easy to make.
Wow.
High in protein. Yeah.
Actually, it tastes like carrot cake. It's really, really yummy. I have to admit, I'm kind of surprised, Jerry. I'm surprised just because when you think about clean food or healthy food without the sugar and the butter and all the things that we love, we think it's going to lack the taste, and this hasn't lacked the taste at all, so thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Terry's book is called Clean Start. It's available wherever books are sold. I'm going to continue to eat this and throw it to Pat. Thank you so much again,
Thank
Pat.
you. Thank you.
Hey, was that as good as it looks?
Yeah, seriously.
It was?
Yeah, it actually was surprising because this tastes like carrot cake. And this, I was really surprised when you have the carrots and you have the cherries or the whatever.
Cherries.
The cherries.
Yep.
It makes it more sweet, but then the carrots aren't mushy, they're crunchy. So it's actually really yummy.
It looks delicious.
It would be a great side dish.
My specialty these days has become lentil soup, which is good for you and full of vitamins, but it doesn't have the taste appeal of some of those things. Well, we also have a fact sheet with Terry's recipes. It's available online only. It's called Eat Clean and Live Well. To get your copy, all you got to do is log on to cbn.com and ask for Terry's recipes.